Welcome to the Chew on This podcast. Join your host, Dr. Katie Chew, and her guests as they chew on what matters, one story at a time.
Okay. Hello, welcome back to another episode of Chew on This podcast. And I'm your host, Dr. Katie Chew. And today I have a special guest. I have Dr. Khine. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me today.
Yes, and you had a busy day, right?
Yes. Started with the operating in the morning and now done with the clinic.
Yeah. So share with my followers what you do and for your practices, because I think it's in Pasadena, right?
Yes. So I'm cataract and glaucoma surgeon, and I have my offices in Pasadena. We opened, my husband and I, we opened in 2022, and it's at the intersection of San Marino and Pasadena. So we do, my husband does comprehensive, and I do glaucoma and cataracts.
Maybe we should give your husband a shout out. What's his name?
Brian Jones.
How did you guys meet?
Intern year at UCLA.
Ah, nice. And are you from this area originally for med school?
I'm actually, I grew up in small town Minnesota. Population was 8,000.
What city?
Alexandria, Minnesota.
Oh.
Central Minnesota.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't wait to get out. The weather's very cold and isolating. So when I got into USC, I came to USC when I was 17.
Oh, so you went to USC for undergrad, and then you went to where for medical school?
In North Carolina, at East Carolina University. So my parents moved to North Carolina, so I ended up getting state tuition.
Oh, nice. So I heard you say 8,000 population?
That's it.
In Alexandria.
Alexandria, Minnesota. Yeah,
Wow.
It's not very diverse. I think, there were only a few Asians I can probably count, and I was one of the rare minorities.
Well, so how do you like our weather compared to Minnesota? Or you were saying it was in North Carolina that your parents, are they still living there?
Yes.
Okay.
It's gorgeous, How can I say no to waking up to sunshine most of the time?
Most of the time. Yeah. So, all right. I'm going to let you know that we have soft chews and hard chews. And because you're my guest, we're going to have you start with the soft chews. And for those followers who are not familiar, we're just going to be pulling out questions. And the soft chews are the easier to swallow questions, easier to gnaw on. And so we'll have you read it out loud, and we're just going to each answer.
Okay, so what makes the conversation feel meaningful to you, even with someone you just met? So I try to do this with all of my patients also. It's like, hi, I'm Dr. So-and-so. And I'll try to ask something that's a little bit personal. I make an effort, oh, do you have any children? What do you do for work? And I try to remember so that, I have something to remember by. So even if it's a complete stranger, I'm always asking something personal if they share. Sometimes people are very private, and that's okay with me. But I always try to make it meaningful by learning something about them.
Let me see that question, because I always have to read it once to myself. What makes the conversation feel meaningful to you, even with someone you've just met? Yeah, I think it's the same thing with me. I will always kind of ask like a open-ended question, and then it kind of allows them to talk a little bit more. And then from there, I'll learn something new about them. And I think that's what I will always walk away from a conversation, is because it is always very refreshing to learn something about their culture or the business that they might be in. And it's something where I would have never thought about. So yeah, I think that's how I would also approach my conversations. Okay, so let me pull, that was kind of an easy one. All right. Because we've had some soft chews that were just really hard to answer. When did you feel most challenged to stay true to yourself?
I would say in residency, I did my residency University of North Carolina. Residencies sometimes can be very difficult because there's you start on the bottom, and then there's a junior resident, senior resident, and then there's a attending, there's a fellows, and then attending, and then there's chief, and so there's this ladder, that your hierarchy, right? Yeah, that's hierarchy. So sometimes you had to stay professional, and you have to kind of like, oh, if you're starting out on the bottom, there's certain things that you gotta go slow. You gotta go to your senior resident first, and before you go coach your attendant. And so that was tough for me because I'm pretty open, friendly, and I like to get to know everyone. And so sometimes it's like this professional world that you're supposed to go up. You start from the bottom and go up. So it was a little bit challenging for me early on. But hey, I survived residency, so here I am.
Yeah. So what was it just understanding that hierarchy that was the challenge, or was it more like certain personalities or
It's tough when you're on the bottom and you had to try to everybody has different personalities, so you had to please everyone. So sometimes it's tough. Sometimes, oh, you're too bubbly, you're too loud. You can't dress this way, so that can be a little bit of a challenge. So where you feel like you can't stay true to yourself. So for instance, one of my junior residents, he doesn't like to wear a tie, and so but he dressed up very well. He's very stylish. He put on his collar shirt, but one of the attending had an issue that he doesn't like to wear a tie, so someone complained about him. And I feel terrible that, like, hey, I had to pull him aside and be like, you might want to put a tie on for this person's clinic because he preferred that way. And so just I guess like trying to please everyone from like the way you dress to the way you speak. That was a little bit challenging.
See, I didn't even realize that it can get to that point, right? Where it's something how you present yourself, but just in terms of article clothing,
Yeah.
also make a difference, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, when did you feel most challenged to stay true to yourself? I think there's one point in my life where I was in optometry school at that time, and I was tested by one of the instructors, and we were in a lab of 16 students in that lab, and this one instructor came in and literally used some uh, racially, how should I say it, slurs in some ways, and so we as a group felt like there was racism during that time when we were in the lab, and so when we left the lab, that was the first day of class. We all met at the locker, and everyone was silent because we were in shock. We were subjected to like an hour or more of this type of language. And so I broke the silence by asking them, like, did you guys feel that? You were able to hear that? And then as soon as I asked that question, everyone was like, yes, oh my goodness. And so everyone kind of didn't want to stir the kettle. And in my situation, I ended up staying true to myself by bringing it up to the dean. And so that instructor later on was asked to leave. But the point is that I could have shied away and pretend that it didn't happen, but I needed to like stay true to myself. Yeah. And so yeah, I stood up for me. I stood up for my classmates, and we did the right thing.
It's very brave of you. Yeah.
So you go ahead and pull. Okay.
Let's see what I got next. What's your favorite way to spend a Sunday? Well, I would say it's a combination of a little bit of me time and also time with my family. I have a newborn. Well, no longer. She's almost 1, and her name is Lana. So I really enjoy spending time with my husband and my daughter, and so that time is very precious to me. And so sometime on Sunday, we like to take her out and about and take her to the museum or just go out to a restaurant. So that time is precious. That's how I just spend my Sunday. But I also appreciate it occasionally part of the day that I have a little bit of peace and, just a moment for myself so that, whether it's be sitting in the bathtub or just, sitting at my desk, just a moment alone. So I try to balance it out sometime. If my husband's awake already, I'll hand the baby, hey, I've been watching the baby, so your turn. I'm gonna go do my own thing. So, uh, Sunday usually a balance of my time, me time, and also with the family.
When I heard you say me time, it is important, right? I mean, because so I have 2 full-grown adult daughters, and so you just have 1.
Yeah, yeah.
And so she just turned 1-year-old.
Yeah.
Time goes by really fast.
Yes.
So, and it's not a cliche when they say, that you do need to spend as much time because those moments pass very quickly, and it's so true.
Yeah.
And so there were so many times when I was, busy working on weekends as an optometrist, right? And there were a lot of moments that I missed with my daughters. And so, I'm not going to call them regrets, but, if I had things to do differently, I would have, spent more time with them. And so like for you to do that on Sundays and then also balance it with your own time, I think that's really, really crucial. I heard you said a bath. You said you like taking baths or
Sometimes baths, sometimes I just go hiking. But sometimes I do combine it. I've learned to balance my life with things I like to do with the baby. So I like to go hiking, and so now I take the baby to go on a hike with me. Or like stroll. And so I've balancing
yeah,
free time with the baby sometimes.
yeah, so you've incorporated her into your routine.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, no, that's important. For me, my Sundays right now, I've been doing a lot of writing.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yesterday was Sunday. So that's what I did. I spent, well, I met up with one of my girlfriends. I hadn't seen her in a long time. And so we had a really nice brunch by the water. And but afterwards, when I got home, I couldn't wait to get back home because I love to write. And yeah, and so yesterday I I think it was almost 5 hours of straight writing. And it's very, how should I say, it, relaxing for me and to get my thoughts out. And but I don't write like with pen. I type on my phone. And so it's just easier.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's how I've been spending my Sundays. Okay. And then, so now it's time for a hard shoe. That one was red. I'm pulling it out here. What does legacy mean to you beyond career titles?
I guess I never want everything to be about, titles or life doesn't always have to be about all the validations. I guess that's one of the reasons why I'm not in academic medicine because I feel like sometimes academic you have to continue to climb up the ladders. You start assistant professor, associate professor, and then the chair. I I guess beyond the title, I certainly hope that, I've touched people's life and that I'm much more than like Khine MD to individual.
Yeah.
And I'm more than a doctor. I hope that I touched each individual's life and I left something meaningful for them. Um, I, I, I mean, I see a lot of patients, but I also hope that even in other relationships like family and friends, uh, I'm I try my best. I'm not perfect, but I hope that I'm there for people, and that's really all I want.
Yeah. For me, legacy for me has been leaving this for my community in San Gabriel Valley. The attention and the care that I've given to each and every patient, that experience I've been giving my patients, I want that to be left to the next person who's going to be taking over my practice. And so I've kind of started early. I mean, I don't think I'm going to be retiring anytime soon, but I think, in the next 8 to 10 years, I am trying to find the right person to take over my practice and continue this legacy of care with my patients. And so right now, I have a wonderful doctor, Dr. Kenneth Cow, who's helping me. But at the same time, it's like he also needs to know whether or not this is the right fit for him as well. And so we're gonna take it slow and we're gonna build it together. Yeah,
That's great.
yeah,
That's great.
yeah, yeah. Oh, you know him?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Wait, so you know Kenneth Cow?
Yes, I met him through his cousin, Judy Cow, and also we have a lot of mutual patients.
I was thinking you also are really good friends with one of my good friends, Mylin.
Yes.
Yeah. Her and I, gosh, I think it was maybe 10, 12 years ago. We like sat next to each other at a dinner program, and then we ended up connecting, and then we just started seeing each other almost like every other day. And so and then her son, have you ever met her son? Yeah, so he was my ring bearer at my wedding. So my second wedding. So
But yeah, she told me you used to do a lot of walk together.
yes, yes. We did a lot of walking, and then we did yoga together. And basically, anytime when I had a family function, my Lynn would be over as well. So I think our community of optometrists and ophthalmologists is kind of tight. Yes, right, and it's been nice. And so, all right. So what was the? I think we're in the on shoe. Okay, sounds good. Let's see.
What's one simple thing in life that never gets old for you?
Let me see. Maybe my one simple thing in life that never gets old for you. I think, well, a simple thing in life. I'm thinking of eating. Like something that I enjoy in life is having Lay's potato chips with
That's nice.
a nice tall glass of iced Coca-Cola. And that just something is it always tastes good. At that little bit of that saltiness with the sweetness, and then it being nicely chilled, um, just always soothes my soul.
Ah,
Yeah.
I think going off of the food topic, I do love food here in San Gabriel Valley. I love trying new restaurants all over Los Angeles, and that's one of the reasons why I moved back to LA. I think for me, going off of your food topic, I still enjoy my home cooked meal. I think it's growing up. I don't know how to cook. I'll be honest. I tried. My parents tried. My husband tried. I'm just not into cooking, but I love eating and I love trying new food. So when someone bring me something from their home that they made, I really appreciate it.
So if you do try cooking, what would you like to cook if you like? I mean, if you had a choice.
I just want fried eggs. Oh, I can fry eggs and put some pepper and salt.
Yeah. See, so I love to cook, but I don't like to bake. But I always imagine myself of knowing how to bake one of these days, but it's just, to me, it's like too much work.
Yeah.
So what aspect about cooking is it that just,
I think
the time?
and also when I see so Italian meals, I had to say is easier for me because the ingredients simple. You can make a meal out of like 3 or 4 items. And I don't like when I see a list of ingredients. Then I'm
So
like,
that's like baking for me.
yeah.
It's too overwhelming.
Exactly.
And then for me to go to the market and to buy all those little ingredients, it's like sometimes you go with the intention that you're going to do it, and then you go and to the market and all of a sudden find out like you can't find 2 of the items.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you're like, and then what?
And then I'm like, do I already have this? Oh, I don't know. And so I love it when someone brings me home cooked meal.
Yeah. Well, so for me, I love cooking Chinese food. And so it's just easy because I don't feel like I have to measure anything, and then I can just toss it into a stir fry wok, and it somehow it'll always tastes magically good. So what was that question? We were saying that
What's one
yes, so from you, and then for you was the cooking. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and see. What's something you used to avoid in life that you now face more directly, and why the shift? What's something you used to avoid in life that you now face more directly, and why the shift? Do you know that one?
I guess confrontations. Early on, when someone upsets me, I'll just like, yeah, let it go. But now if someone's upsetting, I'm not too shy anymore to just speak up for myself and like, hey, no, this is wrong. Um, whether it's be with friends or family member, or even employees and patients are like, no, this is why we did this. I used to always just be like, oh, let it go. The shift, probably because, I'm in a position now where I run my business. And so I'm learning how to take ownership and more act more like a leadership and confront things that makes me uncomfortable.
Hmm. Everything that you just said resonates with me because I feel the same. That maybe it's because I'm getting older, but I don't know if that's necessarily because of the age. I think it's just about the timing of feeling confident and trusting your voice. Because I think before I always did the same thing. It's like I didn't want to stir up anything. I wouldn't want to speak up if I felt like I was being minimized by a situation. Um, but now I will speak up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
And because I kind of feel like, what is there to lose?
Exactly.
Right. And the only thing that it's gonna just hurt myself if I don't speak up for myself. And so yeah, so now I do the same thing. So yeah. All right, you go ahead and do a soft. Okay.
Coffee date, solo walk, or group dinner. That depends. Because sometimes I prefer a solo walk. I just want to be walking alone and have me time. But sometimes I don't mind. I'm an extrovert, so I enjoy actually gathering people and going out to dinner together. So I would say I do all of them. I guess I don't drink a lot of coffee, so I don't do a lot of coffee date, but I enjoy doing all of them. I need my me time, and I also want time with my friends and family.
Yeah. For me, I think hands down, if I had to pick one of these, coffee date, solo walk, or group dinner, it's tough. It was going to be between coffee date and group dinner, but I'm going to say coffee date. Because I feel like when I'm on a coffee date with a girlfriend or family member or even my daughters, it's like it ends up being kind of time like we lose sense of time, and it could end up being 2 hours in a heartbeat, and I really enjoy that. And so, and I am a big coffee drinker. I think like in um Minnesota, um there was these coffee shops. I would have these endless coffee kettles, and we don't see that out here in California. And I think that's something that I see like in the Northwest or Midwest or whatever, that when you go to a restaurant, they'll literally bring over a big coffee kettle and then leave it there for you to like just help yourself. And it's kind of like a, uh, what do you call it? Bottomless coffee. Yes, yes, yes. What is their name for it? It's like a carafe that they would bring over.
Yeah.
But we don't get that in LA. Everything is charged by the cup.
Maybe that's a good business idea for you for the next challenge.
Well, I've always told my family, I'm like, wouldn't it be nice if Chinese restaurants, like dim sum restaurants, actually served coffee?
Yeah.
People would be buying it.
You could do bottomless coffee there.
That's true, along with the teapots, right? So, all right, I'm going to do one more hard shoe. In that, let's see here. What personal boundary took you the longest to learn how to set?
I guess learning to say no.
You're
always
good.
I
Yeah,
always like
that's a
to
good answer.
please people. I always want to be there for everyone. And I am not perfect, but I do try to be there for my friends and family. But now that I have a toddler, it's very difficult for me to make it do everything. So sometimes I just say no, and that's difficult for me. But I've gotten better. I know I'm like, you know what? This is something that I just can't do it. I need to spend time with my family. My daughter needs me. So just learning to say no, that's been tough. But I've gotten better.
For me, it is going to be related to also my children. The boundary, I don't know if it took the longest to learn how to set, but it was about time to set it, and that was to not overshare with my daughters. That was something that was taught to me, and I started to implement it because it is important to set that boundary between mother and child. But that child could be of any age. I mean, I could be 70 and my child is 50. It's like you still have to keep that clear boundary of not oversharing, because there are things in life that you can share with your friends, but your children, they don't really need to know all the details. And so that's something that I've been still practicing, and I have to remind myself, that even though I look at my daughters and they're grown-ups, it's like I have to remind myself, okay, this is not something for them. It's something that I would talk to my girlfriends, but I'm with them. And so, yeah, I think it puts less pressure on them as well. And so, yeah, we'll do one more soft chew, and then
Okay, so what's one thing that always makes you laugh? Do you have clothing that makes you laugh all the time, Leslie?
what is one thing that always makes me laugh? My dogs. My dogs always make me laugh. Yeah. I mean, even when I go home, they're at the door, but I don't think they're at the door all day long waiting for me, just because I have two dogs, and one of them is just a kind of like a menace. And so I can see him always like probably teasing his older brother and just trying to get him to play with him. So I think when it's about that time, they know internally that, mom's coming home. So my dogs will be right at the door. But when I go in, it's like they're so happy to see me. And that I just like, I get on the floor, I start, playing with them, and I'll start picking them up. And so if there's no laughter during the day, for sure, when I get home, they will make me laugh. Yeah. Yeah. How about you?
So now my daughter's she always makes me laugh. So just like you said, even when I'm having a tough day, I go home and I just see her and she's laughing at me, and that's really all that matters for me. That like, oh, it doesn't matter, I have bad days. She's still smiling, laughing at me, and she makes me laugh.
Yeah. So what's one thing that you really enjoy doing with her? I mean, I know, like, you talk about hiking, but like, what are the things that she likes to do? Like, does she like to play with certain toys, or drawing, or painting with fingers?
I enjoy her in the bathtub. When she takes baths, she's splashing water and just going crazy and laughing with all the bath toys. So that moment's precious.
I was thinking my older daughter, again, it has to do with food, but my older daughter used to love butter. And it's just, I don't know why, when you talked about the bath thing, it's like whenever we went to a restaurant and she's in her little high chair at the restaurant, if we turn away a little bit and we come back, somehow she'll always manage to get the little butter, little balls, or little patties, and it'll be right in front of her. But that's something that that would make us laugh, because we're like, how did you get to that? Because it was already over there. And then my younger one, again, like for her, it's like somehow she would always get to like the cupcakes or ding dongs. So they would be like in these packages, but we would find her underneath the glass coffee table, and we'll be like looking for her, and all of a sudden we'll find her there. It'll be just chocolate all over her face. And so, but yeah, I think these are all these precious little moments that it's like, it's hard to, how should you say it? Get them back, but we should always just cherish them. So,
Exactly.
but thank you for your time
Yeah,
for
of
being
course.
here today. And then, so what do you have planned for any vacations for this year that you and your family are going to maybe take?
Well, I'm hoping that soon, baby Lana is going to be able to go skiing with us. My husband's a double black diamond skier, and so he loves to go skiing. I learned to ski for him in my 30s.
You're brave. Because when we're 30, we know it can hurt.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so, wow.
But I enjoy it now. I actually, everything about skiing, I enjoy it. Hopefully soon we can also take her on figure skating because my husband's also a figure skater. So, maybe soon when she's a little bit older, we can take her to skating rink.
So when he was younger, did he compete?
So I don't think he ever competed, but he was trained by Olympic gold medalist. And so he can do some jumps. He can spin very well. He can slide all over the ice, no problem. So he knows if you watch the Winter Olympics with him, he will go over all the jumps.
So where did he grow up?
New Jersey.
Okay. Because I was going to say, because in California, I mean, we have to drive out far, I think, sometimes to get to an ice rink.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Wow. So how early are you planning to have baby Lana start learning to ski? Like at 2?
She has to be 2 at least. And hopefully, my husband said he wants to teach her how to ski himself. So, instead of doing the ski school, he's probably gonna do it himself.
And then how about ice skating? Is that anything that again you have to wait till 2?
Probably she'll into she's 2. But he can teach her. He bought a skate for me, so I slide on the ice for him.
Where do you guys go in this area? Is it Pasadena? Is
There's one skating rink in Pasadena for skiing. We love Luna Mammoth.
That's a 6-hour drive from LA? Yeah.
5-6 hours.
Yeah. I have a friend that I think she just bought a condo out there, and she always talks about how beautiful it is in Mammoth and all that. So, but yeah, I never learned how to ski when I was young, and so I did get introduced to it in my late 20s, but I fell and it hurt so bad that it was just like, I don't know if I want to go through that pain again. And so that's how I'm thinking, like, if I just had learned when I was young, everyone says how fun it is. And
It is more fun when you know how to ski.
yes. And to dissociate, for me at least, I have to dissociate the pain from from skiing. I think somehow those two are combined together for me. So, but yeah, if I have grandchildren, I would do the same thing. I would just like make sure that they learn at a very, very young age. So, all right. So, thank you again for joining us on this podcast today. I do want to thank Kay for joining us again. And I know you had a very busy schedule with patients and all that today. And so always remember to lead your life boldly, live it purposefully, and also to see life clearly. So until next time, take care.